Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We have not so many new developments here on the chart, but there has been a bit of sideways consolidation since my last update video, and now, well, we see a bit of an engulfing red candle here, quite a strong one on the hourly, and we talk about what that will mean here for the further development of the Bitcoin price. So overall, the situation is the same as it has been in the last few weeks. We looked at a chart here when we hit the low. We talked about this could be a beginning of an uptrend in terms of this being an impulse. Then we had here the wave structure ABC forming a wave 2, and we are now in the wave 3 that will end somewhere up here, probably above 35k. Within this wave 3, however, we are looking here at the subwaves. So we are at the subwave, and we have seen here the wave 1 in yellow. We have seen the wave 2 in yellow that has reversed exactly at the target at 20.7k. And we have broken out above critical levels and have seen a further continuation of the uptrend, which currently assumes and makes us think that we are here in the wave 3 in yellow. Target for that is around 29.5k, and that hasn't changed. So that is sort of primary expectation still, that we are in this uptrend in wave 3, and to do that and to confirm that, we need to break above substantially 24.3k. Now today we moved slightly above it. It was a bit exciting, but we did not break through it substantially. However, we saw quite a strong reaction, and we talk about now what that means. But this is the level we need to get above, and keep it. Not just a wick isn't enough. We need to substantially move above it. That is a structurally very important level. If we get above that previous wave 1 high, it will improve the chances of a bullish breakout, which means that we will not see a lower price below 17.5k anymore. Now, understand what I say here. I'm not saying we are not gonna see a price below 17.5k anymore. I'm saying it increases the chances that this does not take place anymore. It increases the chances and the probabilities that we indeed are in a real breakout. There is still risk that we could see a price below 17.5k. It's just a matter of probabilities. So the more of these resistance areas we're taking out, and the more we are seeing evidence in the Elliott Wave patterns that an uptrend is indeed happening, of course that decreases probabilities for another breakout to the downside. So where are we now? There are, let me just hide that again. There are a couple of options here, and that really hasn't changed from the last video. We talked about this option, that from the low here we had obviously an impulse emerging. I mean, this is an impulse. The question is just, was already this the relevant 5-wave move, and we formed a wave 1 here. We had the wave 2 here, and we are now in the wave 3 in yellow of the wave 3 here, that we are in a wave 3 of a wave 3 already, which would then be labeled like this, so that we've already seen here the 1, or here possibly the 1 here, and now we see the 2, so that this is just an A, B, C. So wave 2 here maybe already finished, and we now go up in a wave 3 of a wave 3 of a wave 3. Best evidence for that scenario would be indeed this breakout above 24.3k that we need to do. Now this is one option. And this assumes we are still in an uptrend. And I mean, the uptrend hasn't been broken. Well, you can see here we broke just through the trend line. That is certainly something you need to keep an eye on, okay? However, first of all, that doesn't mean too much. Important is now in this scenario, where labeled as currently visible on the chart, that we hold here this red zone, this support zone between 23 and 23.3k. So that is one scenario. Here we would assume we might have already seen the wave 2 low here, and we are going to go up further in a wave 3. Now let's just take a look at how much we actually could come down in this wave 2. So we should we have now, based on this scenario, we've only touched the 38.2% fib level here at 23.6. We could easily come down to the 50% at 23.4, or even 23.2, which is the 61.8% fib level. However, here we should ideally hold at least the 61.8% fib level. Okay, but bear in mind, this is micro counting. Honestly, I'll just show you a few options here how this could play out. One, the fact that, you know, we had a spike here as an overshooting wave B is confirmed, that this is a wave B, is confirmed by the fact that we are now coming down very strongly. Because if you get this A, B, C structure, and if you have an overshooting wave B, it is very often the case that the C wave, which would be this one to the downside now, is very, very strong. I mean, not in terms of necessary length, but in terms of abruptness, you know, and steepness. Okay, and this is basically here evidence that this is an ABC pattern, and in my opinion this could definitely be a valid count and be the case. Now, if we now stay below 24.3k and don't manage to get above it, then, and if we break below that zone here at 23k, then it is probably the other count that I also showed you in the previous video, and in the end both are still part of this uptrend against 20.7k. So overall, it doesn't make a great difference here at the moment. The question is just, you know, how, where are we in the subwaves? This is obviously something we need to investigate further here. So that's the alternative count. Also very likely that indeed we only completed a larger first wave here. That again, this was an A, B, and we're now coming down in the C in a wave 2, and that the wave 3 will only start afterwards. But also here, I mean, here in this scenario we can retrace a bit more. Let me just show you how much we could retrace here. So between 22.8, that is the 38.2% fib level, so between 22,800 and 22,000, basically the 61.8% fib level. Basically, this green area is still relevant in this scenario. Yeah. So both scenarios initially bullish. In the second one here, we only have a chance to retrace a bit more than in the first one. And that's really the difference. Okay, so from here then, we would also expect the wave 3 to go up. So it's just a question of how much do we now retrace. I would say in this scenario, ideally, we should also not retrace more than 22k to the downside. Okay, so that is sort of what I would expect now to play out, and then afterwards a wave 3 to the upside. That can, and that depends a little bit on how much we are now retracing. So again, that depends a little bit on how much we're retracing, how much we will go in this wave 3. Here now, due to the latest price movements, wave 3 target here is 27.8k. So let's say we finish off this wave in the green area. We should see the next wave to the upside in a bullish scenario to break above 24.3k and move all the way up to 27.9 or 27.8, somewhere in between. And that's what we're looking at. And should we break 24.3k, also be aware of the resistance at 25,750. That is a very, very relevant resistance level. And if we bounce off that and we'll get down, yeah, that would be if we see a strong bearish reaction to that level and then come down in an impulse on a lower time frame, that will be a really good indication that we are indeed not in the breakout scenario. I explained that in the previous video. That is related to that fib level is not that relevant in the bullish scenario. But again, this level is relevant in the bearish scenario, not so much relevant in the bullish one. And if it is relevant in the bearish one, and if we see a reaction to that level, it means that, yeah, probably, you know, we are going to come down from there. And that could then lead to another lower low below 17.5k. Therefore, this level is really, really relevant. Okay, so that's my view here about Bitcoin at the moment. So generally an uptrend. The only question is how much do we retrace now? But overall, yeah, a move above 24.3k would probably take us to 25.7 either way. Okay, so that's my view about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership, and also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find the links for those in the video description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.